I finally got around to watching the Harry and Meghan docuseries on Netflix, and I have a couple thoughts I just want to share with you guys about it. The first episode was about Harry and his life and his struggles with the media. I think I knew from the first episode that the docuseries is going to be more so aimed at the media and paparazzi, and how they have negatively affected his life, and how it really wasn't the royal family members that were the issue or so within the family. It was the control the media has on the royal family, and how the royal family, in order to stay relevant, they have to basically perform for the media, and that basically they have to accept any type of abuse that comes along with being royals or being in the media, or so to speak. But the first episode goes into how he basically blames, which I don't blame him. I would probably blame them too for his mother's death, and how his mother had her own struggles with wanting them to be children, but also understanding their duties as royals, but how she wanted to protect them, and she wanted to give them a little bit of space to be human and not be, puppets in a box performing for the UK.
My mum did such a good job in trying to protect us. She took it upon herself to basically confront these people.
So they go into how his mother struggled with the media and how they struggle with the media. And then he says something that I also thought was really profound. And he says that he feels like children should consent. And I wonder if that had a lot to do with the fact of him actually, exiting the royal life, was that he did not want the same life for his children as what he had. He did not want his children to be forced into a box and expect to perform and to accept abuse from the media. Because he goes back and tells his story of how he felt uncomfortable with the media and the paparazzi as a child. And I wonder if that little bit of that trauma also played a major role in him removing himself from that situation for the sake of his children.
Paparazzi used to harass us to the point of where we had to be forced into smiling and answering questions to the travelling press pack.
Could you look at this camera, please? Just get this one. I've got on it.
And that made me feel really uncomfortable from the get-go.
Can you look?
He also talks about how when his mother died, how him and his brother were forced to remove their own emotions and their feelings of losing their mother, and basically performing for the media and for the people, instead of being given a time to grieve and be human and live and go through and process what they were going through. And I can say that if that was me personally as a child, I believe that that would affect me more than anything, because losing a parent, but on top of that, not be given the space and the respect to actually mourn and be human. It just sounds traumatizing to me. I completely understand children and losing a parent, and how, that trauma lives with them for life. And I can imagine the fact that he always put that, the fault on the media. So I can see how that can negatively affect him with the media, and how he perceives the media or the paparazzis and everyone else that's involved in it. And it can also take away a little bit of his respect that he has for his family members, because they didn't put much thought into protecting him as a person, but instead of protecting the monarchy or the institution. And I understand there's historical context, and and that it wasn't just about them. And, there's centuries of history and who they are that is tied into the monarchy, and how they felt like it was bigger than them. And that's why they had to protect it. But I also think that in order to have well people and people who represent your institution, they have to be mentally well. And it didn't seem like he was mentally well. And it goes into, his life as his teenage years, about how he had a troubled past and how the media would follow him and stalk him, and how it was traumatizing to him, and how he did a lot of stuff out of spite, because the media was already publishing information about him that wasn't factual. So he felt like, maybe let's do some stuff to get a wow factor. And, some of the stuff was completely racist and degrading and disgusting. Yeah, but the basically the first and most of the second episode was about Harry and his experience with the media. Now, they have negatively affected his life, and how he felt it was necessary to relieve himself of that pressure of having to be put in a box and being able and having to perform, and having to not being able to stand up for himself, not being able to tell his side of the story, and just accepting the abuse that the media and the paparazzi and the tabloid. Well, that is it for the first episode. Let me know what you guys thought about this docuseries. I will be publishing the my thoughts on the second episode in Meghan tomorrow, and I will link it down below when I do that. But thank you guys for watching, and let me know what you guys think in the comments.